Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the show. I thought today we'll just talk about the 2 Notes Torpedo Captor X, as it's been a solid piece of gear in the backline of my show for a long time now. I just about use it in every show when we're dialing in amps. I can record silently, I can crank up the amps, it can attenuate. We'll just go into all the details, but it really is just worth talking about. It really is a great time to be around playing guitar. The technology advancements have just come such a long way. We've just got authentic sounds all over the place. But I'm a massive fan of just real amps and dialing tones and pushing valves and just really squeezing tone out of authentic gear. But it's not always desirable in your house when you've got your family around and neighbours close by. You might be living in an apartment and just cranking those guitar amps. And this is where the Captor X is just so cool. You can either attenuate the signal and really just drop the volume going to all your speakers in a few different stages, or you can disconnect your speaker completely and just have your amp connected just to the Captor X. It soaks up the whole power, so you're not going to damage any of your guitar amps. You can crank the volume, you can sit and play and record absolutely silently, and just use the built-in software and really tailor your sound to certain cabinets and microphone combinations and just sound just like a recording studio. I guess now that I've been using it for years, it's a really good time just to do a proper review on it and just talk about everything about it and all the features, and if it just turns out to be exactly what I thought it would be. I guess I'll just start by saying that in all the time that I've been using it, it just works. It's never faltered, it's never turned off, it's never dropped out signals, and every time I just pick up my phone and go through the app, it connects seamlessly and I move the microphones around and swap out cabinets and just save presets. It's just been really good in that regard. So as most of you are aware, the basic operation of the Captor X is it just sits in line between your amplifier and your speaker. You connect it via the speaker cables and you can attenuate the sound coming out of the speakers in 2 stages. There's a 3-position switch on the back with full, half and low coming out of it. And between the half and the low, you can really just find a happy medium where you can either crank the amp or just have it at the right volume for your room. A variable adjustment dial would have been really cool, but I just find between the 2 positions there, the half and the low, I can really just work it out to get the right amount in the room. But the main thing that I really wanted to discuss was the quality of the virtual cabinet software that comes with it. There's a huge amount of cabinets and microphones to choose from, and just the ability on the fly just to move those microphones around and just really get the tone that you're after without sifting through thousands of IRs. Impulse responses are really popular today as people are capturing snapshots of their microphone and their speaker in a certain space. And what's so cool about the virtual cabinet software is thousands of IRs have just been installed into it, dedicated to each speaker and microphone combination. And as you move that microphone around, you're actually cycling through all these different IRs, just saving you so much time. All the responses captured are done in quality studios in certain conditions, just where they get the most out of each speaker. And before I got the Captor X, I was experimenting in the room with different microphones and placements and different cabinets that I've got. And I just found it was just far too loud. It was uncomfortable in my ears. I was pushing too much on the family. A lot of the time they were whinging about it. I don't know what the neighbours were saying, but I did make a sound containment box for the Mesa 112 cabinet that I always use in the corner. It's got the V30 inside, and I had a box that pressed up to it just that I made out of plywood. It did quieten the room down and quieten a lot of the noise, so I wasn't annoying anyone, but it doesn't matter how much foam or what I put on the inside, different mediums, egg cartons or foam, or it just seemed to have this certain resonance coming through it, and I couldn't shake it no matter what I did, and it was just driving me insane. The software also has different EQs and different variables you can add to the microphones within it. Just by boosting and cutting certain frequencies, I could tailor the speaker to sound like the way that I hear it in this room when I capture things with live mics. It's also got the ability to have different environments and rooms and different ambience attached. and you can set the certain ambience and save it in your preset, and then just feed in the amount of ambience that you want with the dial on the unit. It's not a feature I generally use. I find that I get better ambiences and reverbs out of software and Logic in post-processing and things. But if you're not running any of your DAW software and you've just got headphones plugged directly into the Captor X and you're just sitting with your guitar amp, it is nice just to add some of that different ambience. And what I'll do now, I'll just cycle through the different presets that I mostly use on the show. All these are downloadable within links in the description for the presets that I have. And the first presets are captures of Dave Mustaine's Megastack, the 412 with the V30s inside, the black grill. You could buy them from Marshall, but they're a limited run. Now they're all gone. And this first position is just a single SM57 just off the dust cap. And then moving to preset 2, again it's the Megastack, but it's a dynamic 57 as well as 421, and the 57's a little bit further away from the dust cap. And I'll cycle back and forth between the two just so you can hear. And that's really cool. It's pretty much my go-to speaker that I don't even bother changing it that often anymore. And the third preset, this is based off a Marshall 412 vintage 30s inside. This is part of the 2-note software that comes when you buy the actual Captor X. And this one's really cool, and I've actually just changed a little bit of the EQ in the settings just so it sounds more like my 1936V cabinet that I use. And then for preset 4, this is just another variation of that same Marshall 412, except I've just got a single SM57 pushed up to it. Again, it's tailored to sound like my 1936V. And then for my 5th and 6th presets built into this, they're actually tailored to sound like my Mezza 112 that I've got in the corner here with a single SM57 pressed up to it. The 5th preset, it's actually the microphone's pretty close the way that I usually use it. And then for the 2nd, I've just got a slightly darker tone that I use for different settings as well. And I guess that's it. Every time I switch to that Mesa Engineering cabinet, I just used it for so long with different microphones. It really does just capture the same dynamics and everything of that little cabinet. It just proved to me that this speaker software is just really true and it's really good. But there you go, guys. That's my take on the 2-notes Torpedo Captor X. It's just such a great piece of gear. If it was to die tomorrow, I'd go out and buy another one in a heartbeat. It really is that good. But until next time, guys, take care. Bye-bye.